Okay, we're back to the Ibanez. Got things sorted out since the last video. You can see the tuners are all nice and in line. I replaced those with locking tuners. And there's a reason behind that. Makes it a lot easier to change strings. Okay, so we got it looking good. It's working right, it's playing good. Got everything leveled up. It took me hours to do this. But I'm going to show you some tips on this thing. And I just want to go back over some things that I missed on the first video. Some of the tools, I didn't explain what they do or what they're for. So you got these 3 wrenches. This one's for your truss rod. And I showed you guys in that little last video, this door pops open right here. Makes it real easy to get your truss rod wrench in there and either back it off or tighten it up. If you back it off, that loosens, that gives you more relief. If you tighten it, it flattens the neck out. Okay, I'm shooting by hand again. Sorry, I just got a cheap camera. Use what I have. This wrench is a 4mm, and this will adjust these guys, tighten them up, and back here your bridge height adjustment screws are here and over there, and then your string retainer nuts or pieces are inside here, and you don't want to flip the guitar over with these things loosen up and no strings on it because they just fall out. Found that out today with a big struggle I had getting this thing set up right. And I'll show you the back and what I did, my warranty. Whoops, I missed a wrench, sorry. See, I get sidetracked. This little guy right here, I didn't measure it, so I think it's about 2mm or so, but that controls your intonation. So I roughed in the intonation. Let's just stick on the bridge for a minute here. Focus. I'm talking to myself here. So before the screw was all the way forward, I said there were 3 holes in here. There's only 2. So I moved them all back to the second position because I changed string gauge. I think there were 9s on here. Now I went to 8, so it's a lighter string gauge. So I roughed this in, and it was perfect except for the B string, and I had to move that back slightly. Now, in the last video I told you I was going to block the bridge with this little piece. Well, the bridge, these Floyds are, it's not a Floyd, it's a Ibanez Edge system. So the posts, like on a Floyd, it has a pretty deep groove on here, and these don't. So when I had it, I took it all apart to see how it worked, and I'll show you back here. Excuse me, I've just been kind of sick and stuffed up, but there's, if you can see these adjusters for when you're setting your fine tunings, they should be in the middle before you even string it up again. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I've been stuffed up and sick for 2 weeks. Let me take comes with the arm. Let's take that off, and I'll show you my here's the my warranty invalidating idea and innovation that I'm working on. Here's the original hardware, and the reason that the first peg head was so crooked, I'm going to flip the guitar over, was a bent screw. So I had to fill that in. I'll edit that out. Over here coughing. It's either allergies or I'm just dying. So I had to re-drill that with 2mm. I had to plug it, fix it, re-drill it. So locking tuners all the way. We come back here, and here's my warranty invalidating idea, is the old Erickson Trem Leveler, which I believe only works with string tension on here. Because if you think about the mechanics, you've got string tension versus spring tension. Well, if you take all the strings off, the bridge, because of the posts, wants to pop off and float all over the place, and I had to tape it in, and I had to go through all kinds of stuff before I finally figured out, well, I got to have string tension on here to versus the spring tension, if that makes sense. If I make any sense at all, I don't know, but I do know that I know once I strung it up and got some tension, I know I could tighten this 4mm bolt, which I have an insert and a 4mm. That's going to be changed with Phillips head. And you run that up right here to the block so the block doesn't move. It has nowhere to go. In theory, what this does, you take the 4mm wrench and that tightens up. And then you want to tighten up. I got a it's a little feeler gauge. It's 3/1000 of an inch, and that slides here. Where'd it go? In between, before the head of the machine screw touches it. Now it should just barely touch this. It should be snug enough to hold it in place, and that's it. That's all you want. Then what you do is start changing your strings. I'm sorry. But I did learn on this, my new invention here, I might need 2 of them. My new idea, I guess, in order to compensate, because if you take all the springs off, or strings, then the springs pull the bridge all kinds of ways. It comes off the posts, and it's a big fight and struggle. So I thought, well, okay. So what I ended up doing was decking this thing all the way down so that the bridge couldn't slip off these posts. And then I got strings on it, got the action up, tightened up the spring claw on the back so it had tension on it. I used my little block of wood. I put that in there just to hold it level. Then I adjusted my screw. So the screw just keeps it from moving backwards. So if that screw is engaged, it's not going to go up. It's just going to sit flat. So what you do is, if the next time I change strings, in theory, that goes forward, the bolt goes forward between the that and my little feeler gauge until it's just snug there. You can't tug it out. Strings get changed maybe 1 or 2 at a time, tuned to pitch, and with these guys you get the bridge level, so it's level to the body with your block, or preferably with my little bolt in there. Before I change strings, I just tighten that down. That's going to keep it level. And then you come up to your locking tuners, pull the string through, tighten it down so you can't pull hard. You want to pull as hard as you can, and then tighten up the screw to hold the string in place. Then tune it to pitch, and everything should be level, and then you can intonate it. But you can't intonate with a block in there. So I had no problems intonating anything with my little design, my little warranty invalidating idea here, which I'm calling the Erickson Trem Leveler idea, device, whatever you want to call it. I've got a couple more ideas that I'm cooking up, because there's one thing I hate on these things, and that's wood screws, and those are going by the wayside. And other than that, yeah, I'm sorry I'm sick and coughing and Been waiting on parts. I got more parts coming for this thing, just so I can finish my idea. And I'm sure somebody will steal it or whatever, but if it helps you build a better dang guitar, just friggin' use it. These things are a pain. Make it easy. Work smarter, not harder. So that's the update on the Ibanez. We'll get it plugged in sometime. I just haven't felt well enough to play, and I'm too busy thinking about new ideas. Alright, well, thank you for watching. If you watched it, if you learned something great. If you didn't, well, you know, you didn't. Alright, take care, guys. Bye.